there, and welcome to Inquiring Minds. My name is Doug, and I'm back with today's fountain pen review, this Majohn A1 Capless in a new finish called Fish Scale. I did a review of the Majohn A1 Capless when they first came out, and you can see that video by clicking right up here. They've been very popular, and you know when a Chinese knockoff pen becomes popular, well, they release it in more colors and finishes. The A1 metal pen appears in 8 different colors and is, or at least was, available without a clip. Then Majohn came out with a faceted plastic body called the A2, and you can see that review by clicking right up here too. Now it has some cool new textured metal bodies. This fish scale finish is also available in black, and there is a ribbed version in black and silver gray as well. So Majohn has a hit with this Pilot Vanishing Point clone, so they started making them in all kinds of variations, except medium or broad nib. And that's the one thing I complained about with the original pen. The nib units just suck.
You suck!
My first one leaked like a submarine made of carbon fiber. And the nibs are only available in fine and extra fine, which for a Chinese nib are extra extra fine and extra 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 nano ultra scratchy needle nose, write a novel on the head of a pin fine, not to put too fine a point on it. And of course that would be great if you love fine nibs. But they're not only extremely fine, they're also scratchy as hell and almost unusable. My advice last time was to buy a Pilot Vanishing Point nib unit replacement for your Majohn A1. They fit perfectly, and the Pilot nib is 18 karat gold and available in silver, gold, or black in fine, medium, broad, and a stub. But if you need something more than a sewing machine needle of a nib, do yourself a favor and buy the genuine article. It's only $50 more than an A1 with a Pilot nib unit, and you get the real thing. But let's take a look at this new fish. Right now. So I bought a bunch of stuff on a recent order to AliExpress, and I can't remember what was in this group of pens except for one. It's a new version of the Majohn A1, which I thought would be interesting. So let's open it up and find out. There's a bunch of stuff in here. There's the packet with the converter, the eyedropper, and the extra empty cartridge with a stopper on it, which is a really nice idea for a capless pen. And I got a booklet from Majohn, made in China, in how the capless pen A1 works, and a nice soft, foamy soft pen sleeve. That's nice. There's a couple of things in here. Here's the main one that I was interested in. This is a new A1 Capless, or A1 Vanishing Point, and it has this, what they call snakeskin kind of metal surface. And it's not as toothy as I thought it might be. It's very slick, actually. I was not impressed with the original nib on my A1. I replaced it with a Pilot, so we'll see what this pen looks like in comparison to the original. I'll show the parts and features of this pen, some size comparisons and measurements, and then provide a writing sample. And then I'll talk about what I like and what I don't like so much about this fountain pen. As I mentioned in the introduction, I already reviewed this pen model, and you can see that video by clicking right up here. So I won't repeat the details, as there is no change in the pen except for the finish. And the finish is very nice. The texture is smooth to the touch. I had the idea that it would feel rougher when I saw it first in the photos. But it's very smooth, but does give you a nice grippy feel on the barrel of the pen. The only other difference from my first A1 here in black matte finish is the ring that separates the front part of the body and the back half. The new one has a deep hatched pattern stamped into the chrome ring. The black one has this slot screw motif all the way around, and the black one has Moonman silk screened on the back of the barrel, whereas the new one has nothing. Let's take a closer look at this new finish. It's clearly anodized aluminum, and the pattern is a series of waves. The pattern is stamped, I assume from the back, as it's very smooth. I'm guessing the pattern is also pressed into the backside of the surface of an aluminum sleeve, which is then pressed over a plastic or light metal tube to form the front and the back ends of the barrel. The dimensions are also slightly different, as the new A1 is about 1 millimeter shorter than the original one, but they are the same diameters. The nose cones are also slightly different, as well as the clips. The pinch on the clip isn't as severe as it is on my black one, and the new finish A1 is 4 grams lighter than the original, which is significant. The difference in the hand is quite noticeable, as it makes the first version feel rather heavy by comparison. I purchased this pen from the 365-day stationery store on AliExpress for $26.31 US. Now let's look at some size comparisons. And here is the Majohn A1 fish scale with the plastic faceted A2, a Pilot Decimo, an Oaso retractable, and a fake Lamy Dialogue 3. Let's extend the nibs. And here they are with the nibs extended. The nib units between the A1, A2, and the Pilot Decimo are completely interchangeable. The purple A2 and the Pilot Decimo belong to my wife. My black A1 has a Pilot Vanishing Point nib unit and a black enameled 18 karat gold stub nib, and it works really, really nicely. I'm actually thinking of using this black nib with the fish scale, as it's a much lighter pen. Actually, let's do that swap right now. There's the Pilot unit. There's the Majohn unit. Yeah, I don't think that looks too bad at all. I may give that a try. Now let's look at some measurements, and I'll be back with a writing sample. And we're back with the writing portion of the review. This is Clairefontaine 90 GSM paper, and this is the Majohn A1 fish scale, and it has a fine steel nib. Let's check the wetness. It's not too bad for a fine nib, but you might be able to hear that. I can actually rip up the paper in that direction. It's a lot of feedback in that direction. Not too bad up and down, vertically feedback. But this nib is scratchy. So these nibs are very, very tiny. So it's really difficult to show on camera, but those nib tines are misaligned. I found that with the very first nib unit I had on an A1, but it also leaked badly. And so that one just went into the garbage. But I have not adjusted this nib. I wanted to show you, or let you listen to that nib. It's certainly wet enough, and it is a very fine line, but it needs some attention. And the ink is Iroshizuku Konpeki. I'm just going to move my mic next to the nib so you can hear this. Konpeki is my go-to ink when testing a nib and feed that I'm not quite sure about. Not quite sure whether they'll flow well at all. So Konpeki is an extremely well-behaved and wet ink. If it doesn't flow when it's Konpeki, then I will have eliminated the ink as a possible suspect. As to line variation, there's none to be had. This is a very stiff nib. And the line this nib makes is 0.3 millimeters, which makes it a Western extra fine, or a Japanese extra fine to fine, on my Richard Binder line width chart, which you can find linked in the description below. And for our quote: And for some reverse writing, it's actually smoother in reverse than it is right side up. And for some quick writing, well, the feed has no difficulty keeping up, but this is a very unpleasant nib. So what do I like and what do I not like about this fountain pen? I can see why these Majohn knockoffs of the Pilot Vanishing Point are so popular. You're getting a pen that's almost identical to the Pilot Vanishing Point for around 25 bucks. But are you really? If you like this needle fine nib, then you're good to go. But all of the fine nibs that I've experienced so far from the two A1s and the one A2 that I've purchased have needed some work. And I threw the first one in the garbage as it was a leaky mess. The purple A2 was the best one, but be prepared to have to tweak the nib. This new one is misaligned. And when they're small like this, it takes some patience to get that nib aligned and writing smoothly. If you want a medium or a broad nib, it just isn't worth it to buy an A1 or an A2 and then purchase a genuine Pilot Vanishing Point nib unit for it. You'll save around 50 bucks, but that extra 50 bucks would get you the real thing with a warranty and the manufacturing excellence of Pilot rather than the hit and miss of Majohn. I do like this finish, however. The wavy smooth texture gives the pen a nice feel and grip, and the lighter body makes the pen balance in my hand much better. I might actually use this pen now once it has the 18 karat gold stub nib in it. And there you have it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to get instant notifications whenever a new video is posted. And you can join as a member of my channel for only 99 cents a month, and I guarantee I'll answer your comments in the comment section, and you'll get cool emojis, badges, and sneak peek unboxing videos as well. And that just leaves it for me to say thank you for watching. And that's all she wrote.
I made this.